Shavkat Rakhmonov versus Stephen Wonderboy Thompson is scheduled for the UFC 296 card in December, and I'm really looking forward to this fight. They really are stacking that UFC 296 card in December, so I am really looking forward to this matchup. But Shavkat is looking to get a top-ranked opponent at welterweight, and Stephen Wonderboy Thompson and Wonderboy is looking to kind of, I don't want to say rebound, but because he did get a win over Kevin Holland, but at 40 years of age, he is looking for another title shot in that division, making one last run there. Because he is getting quite old in that division. So a win over Shavkat Rakhmonov could possibly get him a decent title picture, like at least an argument for it, because a lot of people are hyping up Shavkat Rakhmonov. A lot of people see him as a future champion. So a win over him would do a lot for Wonderboy here. This is going to be an early prediction breakdown, so I'm going to break down how they match up physically, their previous matchups, and I'm going to go into how I think this matchup will go. So breaking down how they are physically matched up against each other, I'm not going to go over records necessarily, but the 12-year age gap here is a pretty distinct age gap in this one. 28 years of age for Shavkat Rakhmonov, 40 years of age for Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Shavkat's going to be 1 inch taller, 170-pound weight class, of course, at welterweight, 2-inch reach advantage over Wonderboy here, and then same leg reach. So Wonderboy did fight Kevin Holland in his last fight, who was taller, who did have a higher reach, so he is going to be a little bit more experienced. Well, he's 40 years of age. Like he's fought a lot, so he's going to be very experienced. But I mean, relatively recently to a guy with a lot of length on the feet, he's going to be pretty well versed, especially since his last matchup against Kevin Holland. And then before then, he did lose to Bilal Muhammad versus Gilbert Burns, got completely out grappled in those matchups. And then before then, beat Jeff Neal. In Shavkat Rakhmonov's last matchup, he did beat Jeff Neal by, I think, submission in the third round. Looked pretty impressive in that matchup. I'm going to go over that one a little bit later on because I think it is going to be pretty helpful to tell about this matchup against Wonderboy, because we did get a lot out of that matchup. We didn't get much out of the Neil Magny fight. Neil Magny didn't really put up too much of a fight, but Jeff Neal with the good takedown defense and the good striking, we saw a lot out of Shavkat in that matchup. So it was pretty good to see that fight. But that was what we got a lot out of Shavkat. That was the big fight that I really wanted to see. I thought that was going to be how it was going to be for Neil Magny, but Neil Magny didn't put up a fight. So Jeff Neal, we got a lot out of Shavkat. We learned a lot there. Beat Neil Magny, pretty much destroyed him there. Carlson Harris, same thing. And then Michelle Prazeres as well. So for this matchup, I am going to go with Shavkat Rakhmonov. I think for this one, although the stand-up is going to be very interesting, and I do think Shavkat should kind of test it out a little bit early on with the stand-up, because Shavkat's a pretty durable guy, good chin. I think he can weather a little bit of the storm early on if Wonderboy tries to do some crazy stuff, which I don't think he will. But I do think he should try it out on the feet a little bit early on. He will always have that wrestling or grappling advantage whenever he wants. Like Kevin Holland took down Wonderboy a couple times in that last fight. Kevin Holland isn't really a grappler. Like, he does have a black belt, but he doesn't use it. So, I mean, if you're getting taken down by Kevin Holland, Shavkat will always have that option in his back pocket. And Shavkat's has a 100% finish rate. I think that's more of how will Shavkat finish Stephen Wonderboy Thompson if you are going with Shavkat is like the bigger factor. Like, I don't know. Maybe he submits him. Maybe he finishes him. I can see him maybe KOing Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, but it's just going to be really tricky on the feet for Shavkat here to get that KO. Maybe he does get the submission. I wouldn't mind that either. But for this one, for Shavkat, I think early on in this matchup when he does stay on the feet with him, or how I think he should go, I think he should try it on the feet. I kind of just want to see what he looks like against a guy in Wonderboy who's good with length, who has really good speed and is very dynamic on the feet as well. So I think I do want to see that a little bit out of Shavkat. He doesn't have to do anything crazy, but I just want to see what that looks like, because in that last fight against Jeff Neal, we saw that Shavkat doesn't really move his head. Like, he keeps his head on the center line, can get hit quite a bit. The defense isn't great. So he is very hittable, but again, he's a very durable guy. He can take a lot of the shots, which is definitely very beneficial. He always has that grappling to lean on in his fighting. So Jeff Neal, because it was such a tough matchup, Jeff Neal has insane takedown defense and is really good on the feet. So that was always going to be tough for Shavkat, but Shavkat looked really good in that fight when he clinched, knee to the body, really good elbows. And I think he can use that quite a bit against Wonderboy here, kind of eliminate the range of Wonderboy. Although Shavkat does have the reach advantage here, Wonderboy, again, very lengthy, the karate stance, bounce back and forth. He's really good with range. He's going to basically kick the crap out of him. Maybe Shavkat can look for counters, but again, Wonderboy is a very fast guy, so it's not going to be like that on the feet with him. I think he should really be looking for the clinch against Wonderboy, kind of eliminate some of the distance that Wonderboy will kind of have. Wonderboy will definitely be circling around. Shavkat should be looking to go forward. And then especially in that first round where Wonderboy is kind of making a little bit of some reads, as the fight goes on, maybe you'll see Wonderboy start to take the center and try to pressure Shavkat, which I don't think is smart, especially with the takedowns of Shavkat looming there. It probably wouldn't be smart to go forward to kind of give up your hips. But I think Shavkat should try to walk him down, go to the clinch, and just knee to the body, maybe land some elbows. You saw Kevin Holland kind of land that a little bit early on in their fight as well. So I think Shavkat should do that in this matchup. Try to at least make it a little bit interesting on the feet before he does end up going for takedowns. Maybe if he gets clipped with something, he should look for a takedown and then just try to win the fight there. But I think Shavkat, I do want to see him on the feet against Wonderboy, but the only reason why I'm saying that is because I think this is a relatively clearer win for Shavkat. Obviously, Wonderboy will always have a chance. He's a very good stand-up fighter. He did beat Kevin Holland, who's a very good fighter himself. So I think this one will be a very interesting match. It will be very fun to fight. Two really big names in the welterweight division fighting each other. One up-and-comer, one veteran of that welterweight division. So it is going to be a very interesting matchup. I'm really looking forward to it. Let me know who you guys think wins down below in the comments. I guess I haven't necessarily given a prediction here. I'm going to go with, I want to say submission. What I noticed with Wonderboy is that he's able to keep a good guard. So I am kind of interested to see what Shavkat is looking for here in this matchup. I do see Shavkat getting a finish. Maybe he does knee to the body and kind of elbow at Wonderboy, and maybe he does end up catching him, because we did see Wonderboy get caught in that Kevin Holland fight, kind of on the temple, so it kind of disoriented Wonderboy in that matchup, and I think that's what it was that broke Kevin Holland's hand as well. So we'll see how this one goes. Again, I think Shavkat gets a finish. I'm just not too sure where, because I feel like he could get a submission eventually in this one, maybe like a standing guillotine or something. He shoots for a takedown, but I don't see Wonderboy kind of ducking into anything to where he would be able to get a guillotine. I mean, he did get a really weird submission over Jeff Neal in that last fight where he kind of just hooked the back of his arm and choked him out. Like, again, the finishing ability of Shavkat is actually very impressive. So I am really looking forward to this, to see how maybe Shavkat might get a finish. Maybe he does finish Thompson on the feet and then maybe moves to a submission on the ground, or finishes him on the feet, catches him when he's up against the fence, and finishes him on the ground by like TKO. Maybe he gets him to the ground and submits him. Who knows? But I am going to go with Shavkat. I think it'll probably be like a first round submission, first round finish. I won't say first round submission or TKO. Maybe when we get closer, I'll be a little bit more confident in which way I see him winning this fight. But first round finish, I'm relatively comfortable with. I do want to see him do a little bit of stand-up with Wonderboy early on in this fight. Maybe, again, if he does get caught, maybe look for some takedowns. I guess that is a little bit of a dangerous game to play with Wonderboy, but I do kind of want to see what he looks like against a much rangier, faster guy than a Jeff Neal in his last matchup. Again, he always can rely on the takedowns and the grappling. So, again, I just want to see him. I just want to see what he looks like on the feet against Wonderboy. But then again, I think I can see him getting the first round finish. If not, it'll probably be the second round. I think he really does a good job against Wonderboy here, against a guy who doesn't have that great a takedown defense. So I am going to go with Shavkat by first or second round finish in this one. Let me know who you guys have in this matchup. Who do you guys have winning, and how do you see it going? And I'll see you guys next time.